I was talking to someone in my DMs and she was like, I connected someone with you because they want to start their own kink line of lingerie. And she was like, and I messaged and she goes, oh, I'm already connected with my mermaid babe. And I was like, wait, people don't know me as like the temple priestess. Like I'm the mermaid. I was like, wait, does she know that like pink and lingerie is also like more, more who I am? And but I'm so on this thing with the mermaids just because it's so tied to the priestess lineage. And so we're gonna debunk a little bit of it around the sirens and the Magdalene and what this has to do with those of us right now who also feel like we are kind of like the shamans or the healers or where our medicine is walking people through transition or walking people through a death and also what the patriarchy did to change that story and make us look like monsters or Mary Magdalene transforming her into the prostitute. But before we do that, let's just take a second and land in this space together. So just gently closing your eyes and wherever, however you are sitting, just take a deep breath in. And on that exhale, if you want to let an audible sound out and just feel yourself centered, feel your sit bones planted on your seat. Feel the earth holding you under the soles of your feet. And just take a moment and notice the quality of your breath. This breath that just without any effort comes one after the other. And we'll just begin to tie that thread and acknowledge that each of us is here as the ones who choose to wake, to be here, to be alive. We are the ones who are saying yes to the full experience of our humanity, full experience of our divinity, and not as the ones who perform. And just feel that like a little diamond chunk just kind of settle down and into your awareness. Feel where does that go to settle? Does it settle in your heart? Does it settle in your throat? Do you feel it settle into your womb, somewhere else in your body? Just notice. And then take another deep breath in, and we'll just come back into this space. Gorgeous. Okay. So just speaking to this theme, so we are gathering as acknowledging sort of women as these wakers, and I mean like these wakers of consciousness. Um, you might feel this for yourself and even just in your connection with these women around you, but women who know how to use their voice, know how to use their presence and their bodies to be able to carry others through a kind of death, right? It doesn't have to be a physical death, but just if you take a moment and think how many times you have literally died and gotten up and been reborn, right? So it's the death of an old self, of an unconscious pattern, of a half lived life into something that is of more consciousness. And so these ancient sirens that we hear of, they weren't monsters. Really, they were just these threshold keepers, just like you and I, right? Their song wasn't a seduction for destruction. It was really a call that could pull a soul through the veil. And I think this is so relevant, especially again to the water priestess in the Magdalene line, but also the erotic temple priestess, because I do think that erotic piece is so potent. Like the song is the pleasure, like the song is the dance that Mooney that you chose for yourself today, right? It's the song is our seduction where we stay connected to pleasure through something that is destructive through a death, through a rupture. And so it's something that song allows us to like to pull our soul or a soul through the veil. And yeah, I just think this is that piece, and really want to just highlight how, yes, the siren was a seductress. Yes, Mary Magdalene was a seductress or enchantress in those ways, but not in the way that men wrote her story, right? Men who feared her power were the ones who rewrote that story. It's the same pattern we saw with Mary Magdalene, right? She was the woman who, I mean, wrote an entire gospel. Really, her and Yeshua wrote the entire New Testament together. And she was the one who recognized the risen one first. And she was just reduced to prostitute. And the same thing with, I'm going to say his name wrong. I feel like, Martha, you're going to kill me, but I don't know why I can't.
Odysseus?
Odysseus. There we go. Thank you. Right. So, and it's the same thing that he did, like tying himself to the post so that he wouldn't be seduced to her calls. Meanwhile, the story really tying himself to the post so that he couldn't act immorally to this enchantress's call, or, however we want to look at it. So, this is really what we see is this is the story of a woman's capacity to midwife transition, and that it's just too potent, right? For those who are not able, or as we also, having walked through so many deaths, like sometimes it feels like dying. The fear, the ego stories that come up where we are thinking, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And we believe those stories, right? Like, I'm moving backwards. This isn't working out. The spiral that we go into. This is really the story of those who fell down the spiral and couldn't actually maintain the walk through. And it's something where our culture has turned her into something dangerous or dirty. And so here we are in a room again where we get to reclaim the original function of the healer. So we're not here to analyze the stories. I feel like we get to share it. We have so many spaces where we have gotten to witness the stories, and spaces where we will continue to hold each other through the stories. But I just want us to go through a practice today of like really feeling what it is to be that waker, to feel her in our body. That's the whole, to connect to that aliveness. Um, and so holding on, know your story, stay in connection to the story that stories that you like. Let those moments where you can remember being at a death portal, or where you have witnessed or held others in a death portal, we want to tenderly hold our awareness around that. Um, but connecting to the aliveness. So for example, the sirens as shamans of transition, their song was the technology of the threshold, right? To be able to hear it was the invitation for us to step forward with the willingness to die to the old orientation. And those are the ones that stay with it. And we see this so much. Like, this is so the priestess path. This is why it's like not everyone, we're again talking about how hard it is. Not everyone is able to do this, like very, very few. I also think numbers show this. So for example, what was the number? If you make over $200,000 a year in your business, you are in the top 1%. And that's crazy. And the top 1%. But if that is, again, we're talking about the path and what it takes to be able to get there, that alone shows us that honestly, most people are just not willing to stay on the path. Most people bail because it's not easy. Like, there are the ones who will jump ship, and there are the ones who will stay steadfast and answer a deeper calling. Tikva.
You were just mentioning sirens and song, and I was curious. It sounded very literal, and so maybe I missed a lesson about that. But it sounds like you mean that literally, and so I'm curious about that.
So the sirens were so like the monster side of the story that was created for them was that the men on ships would be sailing and then the sirens song would lure them to their death. So that's the story that was made up of the sirens. And it's funny because my daughters were just watching a movie and it really played that. And my daughter was like, "Oh my God, I was talking about a siren somehow at home." And she was like, "No, no, don't talk about it. The sirens are terrifying." And I was like, "Oh, girl." I was like, "No, no, no, no. No, we're not scared of sirens." So that is the literal the sirens are known for their song, for the sound. And that's that piece that I was saying. It's like that really is just that's their seduction story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Which also is so, I mean, really, again, if we're um debunking that story, it comes back again to a woman who also one, I think it's the song piece shows that she is the seductress or enchantress, but also that from her sound is a woman who also owns her voice. Yeah. Okay, and then with Mary Magdalene, her story and sexualizing her, right? She was the sexualized sinner. Um, that was basically neutralizing the truth that she was the woman who, again, knew how to walk through death. And if anyone or has, if you haven't read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, please go do it. Um, I actually recommend Mary Magdalene Revealed just because Megan Watterson does such a great job. Um, I just feel like it's easier to understand. She kind of puts it into like more modern terms. But really, this is just the Gospel of Mary Magdalene is an essential, and sorry, not an essential. It is essential. It's an ascension text. Really, what she's teaching us is how to be able to ascend beyond this physical body to be channels and connected to the divine. So that's her truth. And then we can see how this story again would just like neutralize and bump her from her place of power among men. So this modern version that we see, like we're all here now called to this work. And so not only are we here on this path that is not the easiest path to walk, but we're also carrying all of those stories, memories, remembrances, which come up as fears of owning our own like waking power, right? So we remember this through our body. We remember the past lifetimes where we have been drowned, where we have been burned, where we have been shamed in this lifetime and before. So not only, are we just endeavoring to stay steadfast on this path, but many of us have this fear of what will happen if we use our voice, what will happen if we stay present in hard transitions of our own or hold others through their own I'm just thinking like even feel like even on calls, like the number of times where we trust our capacity to be able to hold someone, um, the times where we've been labeled too much, where we've been told that we're dangerous or unstable. Oh, I love that one. Men love to like use that one. Whether we've been too seductive or, right, oh, you're just being crazy. So this is where we can hear these stories and from I'm not going to say men, but from the patriarchy that still tries to neutralize our power in the same way as these stories. Tikva.
I guess I have questions today that let me know if you prefer not. I always do, but I usually don't ask.
Yeah,
There's just
questions are so good.
okay, great. There's just something in what you said about fear. I forgot how you worded it, but like how it's our fear that shows us. You've worded it a different way, but like shows us who we are or something. And I was just curious, you didn't say that, but like why you think like what you connect to in terms of why it is that we experience who we are in our power as fear.
Okay, I'm going to answer it based off what I heard. So tell me if I'm veering off. Um, what comes up for me first is like my motto in life is just like follow your discomfort. So it's
Mm,
kind of in that same sense of like just follow your fear because if you if you look at it, I'm just going to say like let's just look at the temple priestess. Whatever of these you resonate, like maybe you resonate with the mermaid or the siren or just the healer, but the temple priestess, for example, works with pleasure. And so also the priestess, what she's working with is alchem, like the magic happens once we alchemize the pleasure, but also like we alchemize the fear. So for example, um, okay, right now, there was someone that reached out to me about kinky business, and I'm a little bit scared of her. I'm a little bit scared. But in a good way. And so I was like, before I talk to her about this, I'm going to have to neutralize whatever trigger is coming up for me around being able to hold her because she's perfect for the program. Like I just what I know about her, I'm like, this is exactly what she needs. This woman should be making like she should be more successful than I am. And I know that this program is gonna like it's like she's one of those women, it's just about conversions. She has everything in place. She should just be making more. And so I have to go and alchemize that fear. So the fear piece is the polarity to pleasure. So we can't have one without the other. It's like they're kind of like the Ouroboros. It's like one side of the coin is pleasure, the other side is fear. I mean, it could be you could choose a different word for fear, but it's like whatever that ego block is, right? So this is where it fits in again with these stories so well. Fear is what made the men create these stories to strip these women of their power.
mm,
And so like if they were able to just allow these women to guide them through the process, they'd make it through the other side. If you think about all the times where you have gone through a death portal,
mm,
like it's like the saying, we just know um the only way through is through. Like we have to go through it to get to the other side. But that's also the thing that's most terrifying, right? Like fear has such a grip on us that it feels often like there is no way through. Like I should just jump ship because I mean, ultimately it is death. Like our mind and belief system is going to think that we have to jump ship because this fear is going to kill us. If you track
yeah.
back, that's usually, whatever the fear is, there is death. There is this fear of death at the bottom of it.
I really relate to what you're saying. A good friend of mine, he's an ayahuasca journey leader person, and he laughed at me the other day. He's like, "How do you know so much?" Because I've never done Aya, and I just relate to it like all the things I've gone through that were like really the most traumatic as like the power of them to like cause that total transcendence. And when I had the visions that I've had and all of that have all come from stuff that was deeply, deeply, deeply hard. So yeah. I was just curious. I hadn't heard it like, I mean, I know about the darkness into the lightness and like letting that be the medicine. I just hadn't heard it as like it's the fear. So I appreciate it. I think that it was also a somatic and energetic way of
Yeah.
talking about it too. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. I'm glad it made sense.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you, Laura, put the correct spelling. And that's, yeah, it's just another symbol that you'll see often in this work, but it's like the
Oh yeah.
circle, like how everything is connected. So it's like the tail could be the fear and the mouth could be the pleasure, but it's like, they're touching, like it's like where we're connected is
I got it as a temporary tattoo, and just be careful with that symbol because it is very powerful.
Oh,
So yeah, it's
oh,
fading, thankfully, but it took way longer to fade than I
oh,
hoped.
like just recently?
No, I got it like 3 years ago, and they said like, oh, the ink will last only a year, but it's been like 3 years and it's barely fading. And my God, has it been insane? So
In the portal. There you go. Testament. Yeah. Okay. So the reclamation, and this is again part of the journey, is we make a reclamation, right? So essentially, like when we're waking to this new level of consciousness, like it's not a rescue, right? But this is so perfect on the chat of around the Ouroboros, right? It's like it's an invitation. We hear it as a calling. Like it's like, Mooney being like, oh, I'm gonna take myself to southern France and, put myself in the energetic path. There's a calling that comes to us. It becomes a presence. It's a clear signal. So again, like going back to the siren's call, in that sense, it's like the signal, right? Like it's not the seduction to your death. It's this clear signal, which is an invitation. So we don't pull people into the reclamation. It's those of us, and it's like what you were just saying, Tikva, like, oh, I just have this understanding, like through my own experience, you've gained this gnosis, which gnosis is just like a remembrance that occurs in our body. We don't have to read something for us to get it. Like it's just something that through our own capacity, we just remember. And so um, when we hear that calling and when we show up, like when we accept the invitation, um, coming back to like the song, like when we align with the note, it allows us to access like the next layer that's possible. And in this process, our body becomes the instrument. So, um, what I thought we would do today is just again do a little embodiment where we actually get to practice this. And because the siren has a song, I thought it would be fun to just again to play with sound and pleasure. So what we're going to do, I'll put on a little song in the background, and I always love to just invite the sounds, like whatever, if anyone here tends to work with, like if you know that light language is one of your gifts, you'll probably feel that come online. But I always like to just invite the three pleasure sounds of Om. Most of you have done the deconstructed Om, so the ah, o, or sounds, even just like a breathy exhale. Like really, you want sound that feels pleasurable, so that you're tapping into your pleasure source. Um, and you're just going to keep moving sound. Meanwhile, I'm going to invite you to have a hand. If you want a hand over pussy, hand over heart. Again, if you're more called to just like fully be connecting with velvet touch, that's perfect. Um, if movement starts to come through your body, that's perfect. You might feel like maybe some like wavy kundalini, like serpine like energy, either side to side or front and back. Whatever, like we're just opening. It's just another practice. We're just opening our channels for energy to move. And so sounding, like I said, suggest what feels good. So it could be like a low hum, an exhale. It could be the ah, o, or and you're just going to basically keep cycling that sound. I will put a song in the background so that you can kind of let that also help to move it. Pay attention to your inhale. So let your inhale be pleasurable, let your exhale be pleasurable. And I think we might do it for one or two songs. And we're just going to see what comes up and what happens. And we'll do some frames. And I might leave you with a journal prompt. So actually, let me get no, before I put on the song, if everyone wants to just start to settle into their seat. So bringing your eyes to a gentle close. Perfect. I love some of you are already connecting in. And we'll just take a breath to settle into the practice, just arrive in your body space. Arrive in the present moment, feeling the edges of your body where this physical body meets with the ethers around you. So you begin to just feel the space that you take up in the space around you. Okay, and as you begin to land here, just begin to feel the places in you that already know how to hold this transition. Feel the places within you that have energetically carried you through some form of death, the places that have survived your own deaths and guided you to the multitude of rebirths. No need to connect with the story. Just let yourself feel the sensation within your body. And begin breathing. Here, perhaps sending that breath to those places or just breathing through the body. And just here beginning to bring in some sound with the exhale. So feel that fueling inhale. And just begin again with whatever sound feels right for you. Inhale. Let that sound begin to move its way from pussy, from your belly, from your womb, and feel the sound travel upward through the inhale. Without force, let it find its way out. Remember, this isn't a performance. This is you accessing your sound. Feel how your breath helps with the movement of energy through your body. Where this is your sound, it can't be wrong. Let yourself find rhythm with the breath. Stay connected to where from your body these sounds are escaping. Keep your sounds on, even if it cracks, or it's quiet or loud. Trust what wants to be. Gorgeous. And we're going to keep going with this into the next song. Ah. Ooh, ooh, ah. Ah. Or just let it go. Yes. Trust the truth of your own body. Trust the truth of your own sound. If it's raw, if it's animalistic, if it's ugly, let it go. If it feels fierce, if it feels soft. Whew. Want to try a sound that feels weird, let yourself try it. And as you begin to tap into the source, let this be a reminder what you are feeling, where you are. This is your magic. This is your truth. So on the next inhale, silently name or just feel something in your life that's in transition. Something in your life that's maybe dying, or something that you feel is beginning to wake. And on the exhale, sound the tone as the one who is willing to walk with it, the tone of being with it. And so over the next few rounds of sounding, let your sound become slightly more directional. As if that sound is coming from within you out, but also landing with you inside. That there is this holding. The mouth and the tail touch. And with the next exhale, let this be the last sound. And begin to sit here just with the residue, the residual vibration in the body. And in this place, again, just begin to feel the vibration. What is within you? After removing that sound, notice what has shifted, maybe in your posture, maybe in your breath, or perhaps just in your overall vibration or emotional tone. With the awareness that this is the residue of your waking presence. And as you feel that aliveness, as you feel your magic, as you feel your power in your body, just remember that we live in a culture that is going to keep trying to turn the waker into a monster or a whore when her power is inconvenient for them. Your job is not to convince. Your job is to keep sounding that note that is true for yourself first, and then for whoever else is ready to hear it. This is your song. This is your seduction. You are not here to rescue. You are here to stay awake at that threshold. And to let your body and your voice be the bridge. And just take a moment to acknowledge yourself in this moment, for showing up and taking a moment to walk that threshold, to show up at the edge. That each of you said yes to this practice. And from here, we'll each take one more deep collective breath in with a soft hum through the exhale. Gorgeous. And then just softly bringing your hands with that velvet touch over your skin. Again, just appreciation for this divine body. And gently coming back into this space with your sisters. Okay, and then let's favorite frame. Yeah.
I'm just really grateful that I've started to get back in touch with my like spiritual witchy essence because I just feel so much more open and in that I've been feeling pretty tired today, so it was a lot of like and then it went more into deeper like sort of like and it was like dragging out, and then I was like, I need to sit in child's pose and just do this. And then when you were asking us to sort of embody the version of ourselves that continue to walk through this threshold that we're at, it actually was a super long exhale that started as like a strong and then I was like ah, and it was like this warrior sound, and it was so it was powerful to feel that and to embody that. And I got sort of the message of like the phoenix rising from the ashes, and then also the lioness. Like the lioness is my animal. Like I have a bunch of animals that come to me, but like I think of how I move through my life and how I embody the lioness is very potent for me, and I've just been getting a lot of like lions and lionesses in my sphere lately, and that came through for me as well. So that was pretty cool.
So good. That's so interesting. The lioness energy came in for me today too. Oh, you know why? Probably because we are in the Lionsgate portal. Also, that's totally just landed for me. So,
Yeah.
but cool.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Also, for anyone, like I've heard about the Lionsgate portal, and I feel like I hear about it every year, and then I always forget what energy it brings. So if anyone wants to tell me a bit about that. Meg, if you want to tell me a bit about that, if you
Yeah,
so
no,
feel. Anyone,
I'll pop
anyone.
some stuff into the Modern Priestess channel.
Okay,
It's a good
thank
info.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, and what I wanted to say something else too. Oh, I just love how you spoke about the changing sounds because I think this is why sound is so beautiful to play with, is because it really just is another channel. Like, like when you were like, "Ooh," then this like kind of like warrior cry came out. Like, and that's almost like I got goosebumps because it's like when you can all of a sudden feel the magic, like in your body through your voice, through your channel. So very, very cool. Okay, Laura.
Oh my gosh, holy moly, Meg. That was like I I don't even know where to
I was
begin.
watching you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was such a journey. I felt like, well, first of all, I was very intrigued by this call because I pulled some archetype cards for my band, and the siren is one of my archetypes. So I was like, okay, and my our first song is being released on Saturday.
Oh my
So like
God.
I as always, you're just like very intuitively on point and like just very resonant with me personally. Um and the breath work with the om sounds like at first it was like very terrifying. Like my body was just like I felt sick. I felt like dizzy. I felt like, oh my God, blah, what is this? But then as soon as I started to like really, I let myself cry. I felt that that was what was needed to happen. And as soon as I started to just like sob, it like it became more powerful. And I felt this like coiling in my stomach, which I think is maybe like the Ouroboros energy, and like that like Kundalini, like coming back into myself, releasing and coming back, releasing and coming back. And
Oh.
I'm still just like buzzing from it. Um, I yeah, I just wanted to share also just that. And yeah, the siren
Gorgeous.
is beautiful. So thank you.
I love the intuitive connections here. And that's like my favorite thing. And there's the timing of your song coming out, the archetype tied to it. So, I mean, even just the ties to like the Ouroboros, and how much it came up in the talk. So, uh, can't wait to see what happens as you let that medicine seep. Thank you for your frame. Tikva.
Well, I'll be fast. So some of you know I was doing some work with a Tao Grandmaster on my health, and one of the like ancient technologies is light language, like soul language, which is basically light language. So it was just really incredible to me for the first time to like connect to that as what we were doing on the call today. So I just wanted to say to acknowledge that and say thank you for that.
You're so welcome. That is one of the things, yeah, like this, that the siren, I immediately just think like, the gift is light language. But also like, I'm thinking, oh, it's so perfect that, two musicians here. So we know sound is your gift. So it's so perfect. And I'm glad you got to play with it. Perfect, perfect. I did pop a journal prompt in the thread if anyone wants to just like play with that too. You don't have to. It's just an invitation if you want to keep working with the medicine and see what comes out once you put your pen to paper. And Katie.
Yeah, I'll try and be quick as well. It was since I had the scar work done at the weekend, I felt warmth for the very first time around my solar plexus, and sort of as though this part of me is coming alive, and or just thawing out. Also, with my heart energy as well, and I just let my body move how it wanted to. But the sound that came through was my grandmother's sound, because when she and this is and she used to go, oh, and that just kept coming to me. And as I talk about it now, it's bringing tears. So yeah, something's coming through at the minute.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't realize that I was connected with her somehow, and have felt connected with my grandparents. And maybe that's a connection.
I follow your intuition. I'm just thinking actually with what you had said of just, playing with this gift of light language of yours, Katie, with, if you're tapping in, Laura, I'd probably, even since you were hitting, like go back into this practice today and do more. If any of you feel like you need to do more, go drop back in, and take some of those questions, like Katie, I would do it and see like kind of just softly asking like, what does your grandmother have, like have her share what she's here for or whatnot and see what comes through. So good. And teargasms,
Yeah, I'm crying like ridiculous.
I
Just
love
tears
it.
coming.
Or, take them and bring those into ritual. Your tears are also coded. It's so perfect. Okay, goddesses, what do I want to share? A couple things. I'm going to drop this link here if anyone wants to come and join. I am doing a masterclass next Friday. Oh, I don't think that I've actually put the time yet. So I'll drop that but anyways, if you want to come join, come jump into this hang on, these links popping up. Drop into the Telegram group. This is the masterclass is called The Sexy CEO. So it is 100% playing with the turned on leadership piece, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be fun. We are really going to step into the embodiment of your sexy CEO, what she feels like, looks like, sounds like. So come join me there next Friday. Also, Kinky Business is open, and it's going to be, I always say this about all of my programs. Every year, it always gets better, and it's always been phenomenal. I love Kinky Business because if you come in and you're a Kaya about it, so much happens for women over the 6 months. Like, it's just so fun for me to be right there with women as they put, as they scale their businesses and put more energy and effort and more money, all of it. So if you were interested in Kinky Business, would love to have you there. That's going to be starting in September. And I brag that I feel like this is so magic and also just testament to how powerful it's going to be. I'm pretty sure I'll be opening it while I'm in France. So it's just going to be like coated with that abundance energy. I'm so excited. And Kinky Business, a sexy CEO. There was one other thing. Oh, if any of you is interested in joining me in October in France, I'm going to be doing a 4-day that will be in the Rennes-le-Chateau area. There's just a plethora of Magdalene sites in that area. So Rennes-le-Chateau, Rennes-le-Ben. So if you if you do feel called to just like get your feet on the soil and just like be there for the energetic activations of the land and actually feet on that path, would love to have you there. So reach out to me if you want to hear more about that. Okay, that is perfect. Goddesses, I feel like after that we need to do a little dance out. So let's get a song on and keep it maybe soft. No, goddess, hype. Let's hype ourselves up as we dance out together. Thank you for coming. I just love getting to do this together, and feel like I can literally feel like our coven just like ping its energy up the universe. So let's dance.
When you meet every day, no question, I'm doing fine. Look, have you? People go and call mine. I check my schedule. I got no plans to unwind. And I'm glad you made it. No cap like a great